by definition, kids who are on the autism spectrum are absolutely unique and individual in the ways that they present, both cognitively and adaptively, and of course behaviorally. There are so many different ways to develop behavioral issues if you have that particular disability. And at the root of those behaviors can be everything from physiological to genetic to social learning. And should be a lot of consideration given to what is setting the stage for those behaviors, or what we call in applied behavior analysis, motivating variables. But also to understand that not every kid has learned the same things and in the same way, despite the fact they may have similarities in behavior, that there are remedial interventions, including ABA, but also advances in psychotherapy, adapted for kids who are on the spectrum, have also been developed and are now evidence-based. So we have quite a range of interventions available to us that we didn't have before. But I think a good assessment is critical. Multidisciplinary collaboration is important. All these interventions are important. What's even more important is prevention and getting involved early and often in the lives of these kids, especially when it comes to developing adaptive skills such as social skills, coping skills, and self-management skills, those kinds of things. There's a lot of negative attention that has been directed toward individuals with autism as a result of the media portraying them, for example, as being linked to violence. These kinds of reports are not helpful when it comes to working with folks with autism, and they're also not very accurate. For the most part, they're based on interpretations of the literature which are not accurate. So I think it's important to understand, number one, for example, that there is no direct link between autism and offending or violent behavior, although the risk may be elevated in certain situations that tap into the issues that are experienced by people with autism. That's important to know, but it's more important to know that people with autism are more likely to be victims than perpetrators, and that the rate of violence, for example, is no higher than it is in individuals without autism. For parents is that they do need to be reassured that this is a 1 in a million incident that is certainly tragic and upsetting to hear about, but the chances that their own child might be involved in something like that is extremely remote. A lot of these difficulties that lead to problems down the line, whether they involve law enforcement or not, is folks not paying attention to warning signs or signs that their kid may be heading for trouble or beginning to experience emotional issues, or might even be at risk for developing offending behaviors. And sort of what I was trying to accomplish there is, look, let's just keep in mind that if you see a major change in your child's behavior, and if it fits into one of these categories, then it's time to start thinking about whether getting your child involved with a mental health professional might be indicated. Because a dramatic change for the worse from baseline behavior is hardly ever a good sign. It's important to parse that out, figure out why it's happening, and a mental health professional can be of great help in doing that.